Hello everybody, John here, and today onto the garage we're doing another quick secrets of the XK8, and this is related to the rear bumper. It's a really unusual design, and part of what makes the styling of the XK8 so unique, this sort of underneath the car bumper look, but it's also, especially on the early cars, narrower than the car. And it's proper tucked on, almost an under tray look to it. Later cars, these grew in size. I also particularly like the little piece of styling there, which is effectively a bulge for the cavity that the exhaust comes out of. Now, what I wanted to show you on this particular video is the secret of removing these and of avoiding huge problems later, removing these. They're actually attached in a really elegant way. Obviously, there's the tailpipe. If you look straight up above the tailpipe, you'll see a bolt. And that bolt, one on either side obviously, is basically what's holding your whole bumper in place. On the sides, excuse the crustiness, UK car. On the sides, we have these basically slide-in brackets, which just stop the sides of the bumper from drooping no more. So what could possibly go wrong? Well, the issue lies in what in Jag circles we'd call a spinner. And that is where you go to undo the bolt and the brass ferrule that is in the bumper above the bracket starts to spin rather than being held in place. It should be basically moulded in. If that happens, then there's a world of pain to get the rear bumper off, usually involving cutting through these mounts to remove the bumper and then working away at removing the bolt and replacing the entire mounts. If you have a droopy bumper or loose bumper, then it's usually this has corroded away at this end, or the bolts where it attaches to the bodywork have gone, or somebody's undone that bolt, surrendered because of a spinner, and then there's no way of tightening it back up either. So these bumpers should be really nice and secure. If they're not, there's an issue back there. A top tip is, if your car's in okay condition, spray penetrant up here above the bracket and here, and when you don't have a problem, just check to see if that bolt can be undone. It's a 19mm, and despite its size, it shouldn't take a lot of effort to undo. Now on mine, I can undo it a little way and it gets tight. Don't force it. Because if I force it, what I might do is pull that brass ferrule in the plastic out of position, and then it will start spinning. What I'm going to do is tighten it back up, spray some more penetrant near the top, and have a go again later. So with a little bit of work, you can get those bolts out now before they're a problem, which is a good thing. If you did want to remove the bumper, then if you still have them, lots of cars don't, there is these small inner wheel arches. Just undo a bolt there, that will come off, and then you can pull the bumper forward. I'm not going to do that today just because I'm on my own and there's nobody else to help me lift it off. Not that it's hugely heavy, but it is quite floppy when it's off and it's high up, and I'll damage the paintwork. So today I've got the two bolts out. As you can see on mine, this has not been too much of a problem. There was plenty of squeaking from the brass. Other than that, came out quite nicely. Give them a clean up, where the rust is forming on the top. And it's the brass nut that's here that's embedded in plastic, but once it starts to turn, you're in trouble. And then find yourself some copper grease or any other form of anti-seize compound of your choice. And give that nice working in to the depths of the thread. Bear in mind, a lot of this will scrape off as you refit it. So concentrate on the far end because it's going to scrape it down, and don't be mean with it. Get right into the depths of the thread, or thread, as I am constantly criticised for my pronunciation of TH, the threads. So this is obviously very good preventative maintenance, or preparing a car for a task you may have to do at some point in the future, making it a lot cheaper and easier. However, if you'll rush out to your cars now and try and undo that bolt and heave on it hard and get basically form spinners, then obviously you're working at your own risk. But obviously it's better today than it is tomorrow to do this task in terms of the chances of them coming out cleanly. My car's 25 years old and a 1996 Mark 1, but has been particularly well looked after and cosseted before I had it, plus a bit of light restoration work, which probably means these bumpers have been off previously, because I doubt they're 25-year-old bolts, if I'm honest. And I'll put them back in and we'll be good for the time when it does need to come off. Hope that's an interesting little insight. Somebody says spinners in your rear bumper, that's what they're talking about. It can get very costly because you have to saw off the mounts for the rear bumper in order to remove the bumper. Then you can work away top and bottom to get the bolts back out, but then you've got to replace the mounts, and they're going to cost you £70 a piece if you can get them. Cool. Hope that's going good. Please subscribe, give us a thumbs up. Love to hear your comments. Have you had trouble getting these out? Do you have tricks that you can share with the rest of the community if you do end up with a spinner, other than sawing the whole things off? Look forward to seeing you again soon on To The Garage.